The strongest characters of One Piece currently. We're not ranking them, but just start off right away, get them out of the way. Luffy, Gear 5, obviously one of the strongest characters. No doubt about it.
Hands down.
He's took down Saturn and Kizaru by himself. Unheard of.
Beat Kaido.
Yeah.
And to this day, we have not seen Gear 5 Luffy exactly lose. He's run out of steam multiple times, but he hasn't lost a fight, which does beg the question, can he lose a battle? Like, we've seen Kaido damn near hit him with his Kanabo, Coden and Conqueror's Haki 50 times, and Luffy just kind of laughed at him.
He did.
He said ow, but he was laughing at the same time. So it's like, it's weird because I related to this, but Luffy is like a boss. If you were to fight him, Luffy is a boss from Monster Hunter Wild. You can't see his health bar. Like, you don't know how much damage Luffy has actually taken in these fights, man. Like, it's weird to fight him. So yeah, Luffy's definitely at the very top just because of how much of an anomaly he is.
It's funny that you say, like, can he lose? Because it has kind of gotten to that point. Because I was watching the newest episode that came out yesterday, right? When he was going against Kizaru. And I was like, wow, Kizaru is like the underdog here, which is such a surprise because it's never like that. And I was thinking, wow, Luffy has become like a type of like Saitama or Sakamoto or Sung Woo-jin type of character, to where like now he's the strongest. He's the MC and he's the strongest. And now the story is like, how is he going to lose rather than how is he going to win? And it's like he just gasses out. That's the only way to beat him.
The craziest thing is that if Gear 5th is going the same route as 3rd, 4th, and 2nd, the time limit he has for Gear 5th is only going to go up more and more as time goes on. I mean, hell, like we've seen him use Gear 5th here at Elbaf, and I believe once he went into his old man exhaustion mode, but the second time he used it, he didn't. So it's like, okay, like he's getting better at this. Like he's not bad at all with this at all. Like he's learning, he's growing. Nika's only getting more and more powerful.
Exactly. Especially by anime standards. The manga tells a different story, but the anime makes him even more powerful, which I'm on board with. It looks nice. Little crazy nice in the sequence. But then that begs into the question of like, okay, so if he is one of the strongest right now, then who else is there? Who else could stand up to him? Right off the top of the head, Shanks. Shanks is, he's definitely one of the strongest right now. He, I think, could go toe-to-toe with Luffy if they were to square off right now. And I'd probably put my money on Shanks at this point.
Oh, same. Like I said, we don't know how Luffy could lose, but in that same mindset, I can't see how Shanks would lose either. And if we're talking about time limits, I think Shanks could have lasted for sure. We saw what he was able to do to Kid, which I know people make fun of Kid to the moon and back, but I mean, Kid was still a 3 billion bounty character, and Shanks put him down in one hit. Luffy might take 2, 3, 4, whatever number, but Shanks just whipped that out like right away. Like that wasn't even his final attack per se. That was just a Roger hand-me-down. Like when we see Shanks's attacks, his special attacks that he curated himself, I mean, what are we talking about? And then, people might not like this one, but I think Mihawk is also up there too. Right behind Shanks, above Shanks, wherever you're going to put him, Mihawk is right there. And for Luffy, if we're using Gear 5th Luffy as like the standard, I mean, Luffy's weakness is slashes. Mihawk is the slasher. He's the only other character other than Ryuma, the sword god, that has a black blade. So I do put that respect on Mihawk. I think he'll be up there. His portrayal so far hasn't been the best, but lore-wise, for what we suspect, he's up there.
Yeah. When you said his weakness is slashes, I don't know if this happened in the manga, but in the latest episode as well, Luffy gets cut by Kizaru's sword, like on his finger, and you see him bleeding. He's like, ow.
Yes, that is in the manga, yeah.
Okay. So imagine Mihawk, or Shanks or somebody. That's next level, aside from just, Kizaru's casual light blade that he does.
Yeah, exactly. And besides Mihawk, who else would we put on here?
So we got
current
Blackbeard, absolutely. When it's off screen, always bet on Blackbeard.
That's crazy, by the way, that we've come to that consensus. If we're not going to see the fight, guys, Blackbeard just wins it.
Yeah.
It's just the unwritten rule of One Piece.
Like, I don't know if he beat Shanks, but he wounded him off screen. That is he did. One of the biggest accomplishments ever to do that.
And Shanks said it wasn't a sneak either. Shanks said he was not underestimating him. He was fighting Blackbeard, and Blackbeard legitimately scarred him. I mean, hell, I think people don't give Blackbeard enough respect for that moment specifically, because it's like, dude, that happened so many years ago, right? Before Shanks met Luffy, Shanks had that scar, and to this very day, Shanks is still thinking about Blackbeard.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like an emu Joy Boy situation where they're like, oh god, like Joy Boy's here, you know, like Joy Boy's hockey.
It
like,
kind of is.
Like
it kind of is like that.
Know, Shanks is empowering, but my god, like Blackbeard put the fear of God in that man.
Yeah. Man, there's got to be something that he does that requires it to be off screen, you know, which I will probably go into whatever his secret is. Because, you know, Saturn says he comes from a special lineage. Is it the Buccaneers? Is it something else? Who knows? We talked about it in another video, which I haven't released yet. Maybe I'll release it this week, about how he comes from the forest god, possibly. That's besides the point. Blackbeard is a beast. Even though sometimes he's all like cowardly and goofy, he's still a savage beast. He's very much like Luffy in a way, as to where like he'll take his shots, but then he'll come back. Like he gets stronger as the fight goes on, which I like.
Yeah, he almost has like MC energy in a weird way.
He has
like rival MC energy.
Exactly. He's the anti-MC, so he gets his own bonus.
Yeah, with every arc, you know, Luffy gets stronger and stronger, and you could almost say the same for Blackbeard.
Oh yeah,
like he kind of does. Like he grows with Luffy.
Yeah, I love it. He's my favorite character for sure. I can't wait to get more into him. And then I guess I'll exclude the Gorosei from this because they're not on the level of these guys that we've been talking about. I think they're close. They're very powerful. They're in the top tier, but I think the guys we talked about are stronger than the Gorosei. Aside from Garling. I think Garling is a step above the rest of the Gorosei, and he's probably up there with the Shankses and the Blackbeards and the Luffys. You don't think so?
I agree. No, I completely agree. I just laugh because it's funny that you know, like we haven't seen Garling fight, but automatically when he walked into the Gorosei room, he was the strongest one. Like I feel like the entire community kind of just agreed with that. Or like, yeah, we don't have to really debate it too much. He's the strongest for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
think
that's
that goes back to like who he fought against, or you know, presumably fought. You know, he was at God Valley. He was the leader of the Holy Knights back in the day. Still is technically, you know, he's the Supreme Commander, and he was there with Roger and Rocks. You know, he was leading the other faction. Sure, we haven't heard like stories about him, but they called him the champion of God Valley. He was there, and it's like, yeah, like if we're just giving that to him, he's going to be insane. And plus, of course, like if we're saying Shanks is strong, I mean, by that, I mean, his dad's probably going to be strong too. It's kind of like what we give Dragon, right? We haven't seen Dragon do anything, but everybody's saying that Dragon's be like the strongest character in the series, one of the strongest we've ever seen. And it's like, I agree, because that Shonen dad thing goes hard, but if we're doing that to Luffy, we got to do that to Shanks. Oh, his dad's going to be insane. Yeah,
that's the other thing. He's Shanks' dad, automatically top tier of power. And we mentioned Dragon. He's in this echelon just based off of hype and standing. He kind of has to be. When he eventually does something, he'll have to be as strong as these characters, because these are the only characters he's going to be able to fight against or do something against. Holy Knights or Gorosei. That's it. If Dragon's not fighting them, then it doesn't make sense. But Akainu, Fleet Admiral, he's still up there. He's still one of the strongest in the series at this point. He has to be.
Well, I agree.
The Holy Knights, I guess Shamrock has to be in this upper S+ tier as well.
Yeah, a Shanks twin. He might, sad to say, I feel like Shamrock, if we had to rank them, I feel like he'd be near the bottom of this list, which we're not ranking him, but you know, like I feel like he just barely makes the cut.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, when you compare it to like Dragon and the real Shanks and Mihawk and all them, I feel like Garling might, or not Garling, but Shamrock might be like, you know, B tier.
I mean, I genuinely just don't know. We've only seen him hurt, chained up Loki.
Yeah.
And he Shanks his brother.
He said that if Loki wasn't chained up, the result would be still be the same. Pretty hard.
Is that Oda saying that, or is that like just Shamrock being too confident?
And we don't know.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
Loki, do you think he's in this S+? I mean, he got beat by Shanks.
Yeah, I think Loki's in here. I think Loki's in here. Loki might be near the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same.
It's like the Big Mom thing, right? People are like, "Oh, Big Mom's the weakest Yonko." It sounds bad, but it's not, because you're like among the strongest, right? Oh, Big Mom's the weakest of 4 really great characters. Yeah. It's like, okay,
yeah, you're the poorest billionaire.
It feels yucky saying, you know, Shamrock and Loki might be near the bottom, but it's like, okay, there's Shanks, there's Mihawk, Akainu, Luffy, Dragon, Garling. It's like, yeah, we have no choice, man. We got no choice.
No, yeah, somebody has to be, you know, the billionaire with the least billions, which is you're still a billionaire. It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I guess Emu. Emu, probably the strongest character right now. Just guessing.
Yeah, it's like a position-based thing. And if there's theories that Emu is giving the Gorosei and the God Knights all these powers too. So if that is true, I mean, we gotta like put him above all of the rest. All those that follow him. So yeah, Emu's definitely there.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go more into Emu. Like, oh, they're the strongest because of this. They're the strongest because of that. They're only the strongest because the Gorosei fear Emu. Emu is the direct #1 leader of the world government. No one seems to have a problem with that. They're just like, yeah, Emu's the leader. That's it. Did something to take down Joy Boy. We talked about in the previous video, Joy Boy, based off of feats, is the strongest character ever in the series. So that and Emu is implied to be maybe the final boss if Blackbeard doesn't usurp that throne. So yeah, that's those are pretty much all of the strongest current characters. I think we did it all. I don't think we missed any. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you have another character that we missed who you think is stronger than the ones we mentioned. But it's pretty much it. Check out Sai's channel. Link will be in the description. Have a great day. See you next one.
Peace out, guys.